Hello, namaste. Should I say namaste or should I embrace life without borders, without boundaries, without race, without religion, without political notion, without an identity, which I've always done? Where life is, where life thrives, where life exuberantly. What's going on here? Music. Music that you can dance to. The life. You can be dancing to the energy of time. What am I going to speak is where every one of us can contribute, and that is to be conscious. If you're conscious, do you think a charity, an organized charity, an organized group that needs to go out and help the deprived populations, deprived societies in the neighborhood or in the country or in the continent or in the world would exist? No. For thousands of years, we grouped ourselves saying that where we have stolen the land, we have robbed and brutally decimated land and lives and livelihood. And we made our lives to be more superior and powerful, and was then exported out as this should be the life. And for that, you grow, I eat. The plantation started. The slavery, abuse, disrespect, and all kind of aberrant structures were created to beat down the human willingness to thrive. For thousands of years, we then educated with missionaries and God's people who were then sent out as the advocates, as the good people, in turn destroyed thousands of years of history on the landscape of the earth. From Europe, that the religion that was used as a tool of well-being and for human willing to thrive and live an exuberant life became only relevant to a very selected few. And in turn, the entire landscape was burned down. The forests were almost extinct. The animals were brutally extinct just to avoid indigenous First Nation land owners almost disappeared from the surface of the earth because their food was terminated indiscriminately. From the hunter-gatherers of the land, their animals were extinct. and they were chased to different pastures, and the land were robbed, and boundaries were erected, and restrictions and laws were made of their beliefs, their way of mystic life, and the way of life was being curtailed to control and abuse the power of the very few who then thrive to become the owners of the land. And then we introduce religions, then we introduce charities when they introduce politics, well-being, spirituality. All of this came about because our basic fundamental education of life was aberrant, and we created hell upon on our heads, in our minds, in our eyes, on our land. And we start exporting everything to the heavens above us, which no one has a life experience of what that means. With this, we have created tiers and structures and monarchy and all sorts on the planet. For us to continue with this mindset, the suffering is an inevitable reality in the society today. There are two methods of suffering, mental and physical. Both of this, which we are pretty much being educated in a way that it becomes a self-help. Our suffering is our cause of the way that we have brought up, how we relate to information and knowledge that we know of, and what we've been educated. Instead, the realities of life does not make you suffer. The realities of life, when you touch the dimensionless and limitless possibilities out there, the life which is throbbing within you, only when you put to use that you will know what it means to be alive. So I started by saying, no privilege should see others as a project, but include and embrace them as a life. And this is what I have been doing for 45 years. And people are not interested in watching or even hearing. And I do request not to hear me, yet to be out and experience by your own self what is out there and where we are with life today. It is painful to see what we are doing to each other and to one another and to our earth that gives us life.